move on to 2 points.
Yeah, 4 players went up in the air, 3 of them went to the ground.
Big Jason Dillon getting past the tackle. He can't, gives ground, keeps possession. Good to Prescott. Prescott hotly pursued by Dowdy. All right, neither player got hands to the ball, and now Colville, the captain for the Eagles, centers the ball looking for Biglands. 1, 2 touches. Everybody, including us, of course, and it's only behind the Eagles 3 points on the 5-game scoreboard. So back at play now. McCaw's at centre-half forward. He go long into a one-on-one contest, and the one is Biglands. Well, he got hands to the ball, couldn't keep the streak, importantly taken too high. Good work there by Biglands. He did present himself pretty well on McCaw. Well, that's obviously on this occasion. It's worked beautiful.
He's humbled a couple Biglands, but he is working hard, so you've got to give the big fella credit for that. But he just seems to be struggling a bit. He's got a set shot, fairly tight angle. He's in front of the members' grandstand, kicking from about 10 metres out. This time, a big time for Meanwhile, he's holding the ball there, and the free kick will go the way of another likely type by 2 in Hayden Walker. Very tough customer, this fellow as well. He's put a couple of big bumps on already early in the game. He goes forward looking for Biglands. The option the Eagles have, they're working pretty hard, trying to get a free kick, a handball pass out, I should say, to release a player. It does finally come out that way, and it's returned back to the top of the goal square. Crochet's pushed back. He has kept his spot at the top of the square there.
In high, Biglands had the height, made the position, used the bulk, and eventually took the mark on the second grab.
Yeah, kicking from about 20 metres out directly in front. Shouldn't have a problem with this Rhett Biglands. And he does. The flag goes waiting to the goal umpire to see the 2 fingers just to make sure I've got it right. That's a point, and the goal umpire agrees with me. Gives it what Rob Hopplestone calls is a John Hopawate, a 1-fingered salute, through for a minor score.
There's only a matter of time before that catches on, I'm sure of it. Anyway, South Adelaide come forward. Good work too by the Panthers. Dean Tell Pesh, and Pesh goes on to find Allison. An awkward bounce and off break, unfortunately, for Allison, but he gets a handball from Jeffries, and Allison kicks long, looking for Kluzak. Kluzak got one hand to it. Biglands fights hard. And hits the left upright goal post. One minor score, the Eagles.
First, but couldn't quite create some space. Working in hard there is Hayden Walker too. I like him and I like Jeffries. 2 big, strong, bustling blokes for the Eagles. Boundary umpire throws it in. Jeffries, the man I talk about, gets a clever little tap down to Pesh, who just as quickly gets it to boot for the Eagles.
I've been disappointed with Brogan that he's not playing in front of his man. He wants to lay off him all the time and run at him from behind. And Manfield is making an absolute meal of it.
Yeah, he's just starting to run off him now, which is working quite well for the Eagles. Big other side of the ground, just around from the point post for the Eagles.
Yes, Kluzak is off at the moment, taking a short rest on the bench.
3-5-23. South Adelaide 1-2-8. 28 minutes gone of this first quarter. And a quick kick by Pez. They've tended to do South Adelaide. Dean Talbot's been on the end of a lot of short passing out of defensive 50, and this is what he tends to do. Change direction. Almost predictable. Matty Bishop, probably his first touch today. I can't recall calling it. Those goals on the outer side of the ground. 12 and a half minutes gone. The Eagles by 9 points.
They certainly give the players every opportunity to get it out from under a pack in SANFL footy, which is good, because it comes now to Allison from that tap in, and he lines up the goal.
On that left foot, kicks to McCarthy. McCarthy has to sit and wait as Talbot brings the ball to ground. The numbers at ground level is the Eagles. It's Chapman who centres the ball up, and a beautiful bounce by Biglands, who runs in the 3:15.
They were lovely hands from Allison too. A very fluent footballer. One of those guys you like to come and watch of a Saturday afternoon, because he really can turn it on when he's hot.
Well, Bishop decides to play on for full back and take Biglands on. He does a good job too, and then kicks out for the Eagles. Balks one way, goes the other. Now Colville does the same, gets around while McClure provides the shepherd. From 55, he centres the ball. Another tumbling punt. Some of their kicks forward have been disappointing, and a result of a poor kick, the mark was taken by Talbot. Talbot plays on quickly to Bishop. Bishop's going to back himself in again and does well. He props around Biglands and kicks to half forward.
Payne.
We hope not.
There's the bounce down. They're killing them on the rucks, are the Eagles. This bloke Lindsay's right on top of his opponent, and the Eagles as a result go into attack again. Oh, almost a mark. Man handling there. It's a socket off the...
Matty Bishop, who was defence, and he went to full forward. Now he's back in defence again. It's almost as though he's trying to find a position for him.
Well, Crochet's being licked in the ruck.
Would you give Bishop a run in the ruck?
Yeah. Or Brogan in the ruck. You've got to do something to upset the rhythm. Merton takes the
first off too, but in saying all that, Christopher Hall was taking the ball and all bounced down.
There were 4 tactics. I mean, he really had nowhere to dispose of the footy. There's the bounce down. And it's, again, the Eagles bringing it out of the... A throw in alongside the behind post in Panther territory here as we get very close to half-time. Here's the throw in. Crochet jockeys against Biglands. It comes out now to Sikalella. He's been Dillon but neither player could control the football, and it goes out of play. So it's at half forward right, about 70 metres out from the Eagles' goals, as they go into attack yet again. The throw in now. Brogan
continually running to the ball rather than, getting to where getting into packs and busting packs open. He's continually trying to find space, and he's not that sort of player if he wants to.
The Chapman, he tries to get a quick one round the corner. Good handball out by Walker, but to a teammate that's hot. The crowd calls for holding the ball, but there's nothing doing there. Chip over the top through for a rush score. Adding one onto the Eagles score. They go on to 8-13, 61. Cleverly into defence, takes a good strong mark, puts it out, sets a task for Christopher Hall. He can't take it, goes across there through the Eagles, looking for McClure. They haven't got a runner, and Merton butters up. Tries to get a kick around the boundary line, not that effective, comes back inboard and takes
the Eagles. There's a left foot kick towards goal. It's going to land on the last line. Beveridge flies high, can't quite control it, and it goes through for a minor score. So the Eagles inaccurate. They could have established an unbeatable lead here had they kicked straight. They're 8-14, enough goals, but they will have the breeze in the last quarter. There's the kick out now from Bishop. It's a good kick and finds its target. The South Adelaide move the ball further down. Oh, shove in the back there, right in front of the umpire, and he's at centre half forward. Long handball to Morgan. He's under immense pressure. Had to kick off balance, but he's got it further down the ground. Here's a chance now for Talbot. Drives it, goal. I think it's a homer. The goal umpire's got knocked over in the...
Trying to find him. He might be having a spell brain.
He might be benching him for the last quarter.
That looks like that could be the move, just as Floriani goes down to get a couple of stitches in that cut. The umpire puts it down, the big fellas go at it.
A good one, but good hands by Allison. Allison got it to his teammate Pash. It's up for grabs, and a good mark has been taken here by Dillon. Jason Dillon at the 55-metre mark for the Eagles. If they can get a goal from this foray, it's got...
Eagles after a questionable free kick, and South Adelaide took the benefit of that.
There's the kick from Manuel, looks pretty good. He's pumping the fist in the air, he likes it, that's a good one. South Adelaide 7, they go on to 7-4.
Sight. There's the left foot. It's drifting, it's drifting. It's drifted too far. The field umpire puts one hand to his mouth, which indicates that it's a point, and the goal umpire concurs. So it's a minor score.
Through the middle of the ground, has one bounce, lovely work. Should get a Shepherd provided, does, has a second bounce. Through centre half forward now, up to the full forward line. South Adelaide caught behind, can't take a mark, comes to the front of the pack, trying to bust his way up his play. Sampson round on the left boot.
He picks it up, only got to get balance. He looks for an option, a shocking kick. It's a grubber along the ground, into the chances Walker. He can't control it. Eventually the handball by South Adelaide for the boundary line, and it goes out of play in the back pocket for the confidence today. Coming into the game and starting to dominate. There's the bounce down. The last quarter's underway here at Woodville. Up they go. The big fellas reach for the sky. It comes towards Costa. He gets the right foot forward up in the half-forward line for South Adelaide. On.
Eagles lead by, can you believe it, just 10 points. 1 minute into the final quarter. Brogan, can he get the important first touch? He can, and it's up Thumper too. Thumps the ball down hard, falls in the arms of Allen. He's tackled, dispossessed, and now Pesh.
Been a part of your life. Warm, comfortable, soft and supportive. The Posture Care Chair Company take your measurements and build the chair around you. And there's a comfort guarantee. If the chair loses its oomph after you buy it, they'll retail it. Call now and save $200 to $500.
Cruzak, he's dragged off the foot, he's back over the top of it again. Out it comes the little Chapman. He overruns it. Socket off the ground there by Palmer. It's out into the open. Biglands, he picks it up. Only got to get balance. He looks for an option, a shocking kick. It's a grubber along the ground.
Eagles goal, it's knocked down there. The players wrestle for it. Gets away by South Adelaide. Talbot again just clearing the defensive zone. He does it so well, but only as far as two Eagles players. It comes to the back of the pack. Wise is in there working hard. McCarthy as well. The umpire's picked out a free kick going the way of Rhett. Biglands there. He sizes it up and sends it back into attack. Goes wide, outer side of the... Yep.
Look at Durrell Merton there with the smart look-alike. Got the haircut. He shaved the hair. There's the...
I'll tell you what, neither side has put the brakes on at all. Both teams going very, very hard at the footy as the big fellas go at it again. Brogan and Biglands it is. Biglands gets a bit of a tap, not really to any advantage. Murray clears the zone with a spiral.
This game, but South Adelaide have got the momentum.
Only 1 point in it down at the bay too. Sturt holding a 1 point lead.
Gavin Colville just trying to get his charges going in the middle of the ground, and Rhett Biglands responds by getting a tap over the top as far. He's wrapped up by two players and doesn't like the close attention he's getting, and they all come in to say, how you doing? Good to see you, good to have you here. And they are enjoying a good afternoon, I can tell you. The umpire bounces the ball again just to get play going once more. Inside again, it's hard work in there. Damasi tries to get it only as far as 3 goals. He turns it back inside to Talbot, who must be having touch number 1,000, I reckon, this afternoon. He's been all over it. Up to Hall, pitches in front of him, gets an unkind bounce back to Jamie Tate, who's quite in the second.
Here's the throw in now, in the forward pocket. Makes for a great contest. Give a bit. There's the throw in now. Front spot is Biglands. Knocks the ball high. Taken by Pesh. He has to double back. Gets rid of the football to a team having been put in his head. He's got the headband on. He'll be back if they need him in the dying moments.
Boundary throw in now in front of the Woodville West Torrens members there. Biglands gets to front position. Tries to tap it down only as far as Hall. Trying to burst it. Someone's trying to burst their way through. It comes out the back to Beveridge. Biglands on the end of it. Quickly caught. He has to get his kick away quickly. Does so. Up only as far as Grogan. Pushing back. Should have taken the mark. Has dropped it. He's getting harassed now by Allen.
They're leading 18-15 to 9-8. And at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Hawthorn lead Collingwood by 9 points late in the final quarter.
Right back here at the Woodville Oval with South Adelaide going into attack.
And they're in with a pretty big chance here. Inside their 50, about 40 metres out from goal. The umpire's just trying to clear a bit of space so he can throw it up. The big fellas go for it. Crochet gets a tap down only as far as Pesh. He gets a kick around the corner. Finds Beveridge. Had a couple of juggles at it but couldn't hang on to it. He gets...
Will be a throw in. This is at centre wing now. And we have played nearly 15 minutes into the final quarter with the Eagles 11-16 leading South Adelaide 10-5. The throw in. The big men set themselves. Biglands gets it down towards Pesh, dispossessed though by Costa. Eventually it comes the way of South Adelaide. Damasi, clever knock on by his teammate, gives Damasi the chance. He goes to the centre half forward area.
Quickly South Adelaide. They are just struggling a little bit, trailing by 23 points here, as I said, in the 25-minute mark of the final term. Biglands there tries to get a tap down to Jeffries, who just works up a player beautifully, shows his experience on all day.
He's provided them with a real chance up forward, and he's given this plenty of air up towards Steele and Manuel of South Adelaide, and eventually it's Ashley Manuel who's taken the mark. Manuel.
There, yes. He not only looks like him, he moves like him.
And he kicks about as straight as Aldo used to.
Yeah.
Ball kicked back by North Adelaide. Up they go. Big pack set at centre half forward or centre half back. The ball kicked away there to Johnny Floriani again. Goes towards Biglands. And Biglands put those big arms out and said, thank you very much.
Biglands he is too.
he's a big lad.
Why would a man of that size be roaming around on his own in the forward line?
Well, I think you find his opponent, Frosty, wasn't anywhere to be seen.
Nowhere at all.
Biglands lines up for what should be the Eagles' second goal. He'll kick from 20 metres out, no angle to speak of. Rhett Biglands comes in, money for jam this. Lines him up.
Oh,
gee, I tell you what, he sprayed that as he missed it. No, he's got it. So the umpire goes towards centre half forward. Johnny McCarthy again. The Rock of Gibraltar, they call him down here.
Kick.
Look at the kick down to the wing towards Nick Pesh. Pesh has got the run of the ball. He goes towards centre half forward. Here comes Biglands. Look out. A North Adelaide player was about to get crunched there as Biglands, which says Eagles 2-1-13 and North Adelaide 2-1-13. She's a tied ball game here at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. Ball thrown in, right-hand forward pocket. Biglands doing the ruck work. Got it down to the Rovers. North Adelaide are going to pinch it though.
Yeah, bad kick.
Plenty of room and plenty of space and time to steady. We're going to have a bounce here now. We're back in the centre, as John said, with a goal in front of the Eagles. Whitelaw and Biglands go at it here. Bamford has now time to atone for himself his grab, but he's going to get it. Wintle gets the kick now, gets a quick hand. He's going to be looking higher up the ground, and he's going up to Paris Fowden. Biglands settling in for this grab, and Biglands has dropped an easy mark that he should have taken, and the Eagles player in the agency of Holland sees it over the boundary line with a nice little shove from Tim Cook. And we're going to have a ball in here on the wing. Eagles 3-1-19, North Adelaide 2-1-19 on the Power State Credit Union scoreboard.
Ball thrown in right in front of the grandstand. Up they go. Biglands in front, got it down to Pesh, palmed it down beautifully. They go towards centre half forward and goes out of bounds. The boundary umpire right in front of the Coast FM commentary position here, down on the ground, and he's about to throw it in. In it goes. Biglands, he's too strong for the North Adelaide ruckman. Paris Fowden with the ball, got it across there. The tackle there also goes out of bounds. Ball about to be thrown in, left half forward flank for the Eagles. They lead 3-1-19, North 2-1-14. 13 at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. They get the ball down again, the Eagles. They get it to Ben.
Gee, they're doing it tough at the moment, North Adelaide. That was 3 or 4 possessions there, Frosty, under a lot of pressure.
North Adelaide are doing better in the packs now, though, boys. They're getting in and under in those packs, and they're on top there.
Ball up, a ball in here, and that was Biglands getting a tap out there. Bamford will follow this ball up, and he's trying to dribble it over the line again. Adelaide 2-2-14 at the 19-minute mark of the first quarter. Ball in here, we're going to see Biglands and Whitelaw going at it once more again. Whitelaw gets a tap out, and it's pretty tight in there at the moment. There's a quick kick out there. I think it was Nick, no, it wasn't Nick Pesh. Nick Pesh has the coming up to the ball now.
The Mortgage at the moment has 4 kicks, 2 marks and 3 hand passes.
It's not bad, is it?
So,
it's enough back. It's not a bad effort.
Beveridge and McCarthy doing very well for the Eagles at the moment.
Up they go in the centre. Biglands gets it down. Comes out here onto the outer side wing. Daniel Wise. Biglands about to do the ruck work with Martin Whitelaw. Up they go. Biglands a big thump down towards Daniel Wise. He'll handball across the top to his teammate there in Dutchy Holland. Holland with a disgraceful kick. North Adelaide strong. The tackle was on Heath Uni.
Yeah, he was going nowhere.
Going nowhere. Once Scratcher grabs hold of you, you don't go far, let me tell you. Ball about to be thrown in, grandstand wing, up they go. Biglands in front, he's just too strong. He tapped it straight down to the North Adelaide Rover. It's 4-1-25, North Adelaide, 2 goals, 2-14 at the 22-minute mark of the first quarter. We're going to have Biglands going at it with Jamar. Jamar gets the tap out. Wise is very quick on. He's been very good to read the play at the moment. He's got a short kick out there, and Pesh has it. Pesh will now kick the ball. And in there now, Robert Shirley directing the traffic for the Eagles, and Rhett Biglands doing the ruck work. No, he's not. Lindsay's back in the ruck for the Eagles. Ben Setchell with the ball. Should have been tackled, but he wasn't. I think you'll find an Eagles player might get dragged now. Off he goes. Goes towards the outer side of the ground. There's Eagles players everywhere out there. If they come to the centre of the ground, they've got Beveridge. They go over Beveridge's head. Here's Biglands. Puts the big arms out and takes a magnificent mark. And Frosty, I have to tell you, it was a great mark, but Frosty said about 10 minutes ago, mate, you said North Adelaide have to be very careful here, and I can tell you what, it's starting to look ominous already. Biglands comes in, started run up. Good kick, though. Right, it's terrible kick.
Bad kick.
And he's missed it.
No, if the ball is going to be delivered.
And comes in to bounce. Rhett Bigland's going to start in the ruck for the Eagles. Once again, a disgraceful bounce from the umpire. It did favour North Adelaide. An Eagles player nearly had his head ripped off. Play on was the call. Bigland's in there fighting hard for the ball. But that is a great mark, and I believe that is Tim Swan. He's going to get a free kick mark, yes, Tim Swan has the ball. Yeah,
courageous mark, Gary, that
very
one.
Courageous. Bigland's coming behind you, that's for sure. Swan kicks the ball back up in. He's looking for Hargraves. Hargraves got to stand and contest this mark through and keeps going. Great play there. Great bit of passage of football there by both teams. Bigland's going up against Swan. Swan wins a tap out here. Tim Cook goes for the free kick. Doesn't get paid by the umpire. Uni tries to tackle the Eagles player. Ball in. We certainly are in front of the other grandstand, not the grandstand that we're in, on the half-forward line for North Adelaide. Bigland's too tall. He got it down and actually scouted by Scotty Sutherland. Sutherland goes towards full forward. Now Bigland's in to do the ruck work for the Eagles, and Mark Jamar to do the ruck work for North Adelaide. Up they go. Jamar actually got the tap down, comes to Setchell. That's better. Setchell runs out of the centre of the ground, looking towards half-forward to at the Woodville Oval. Beautiful. So the sun's broken out. It's lovely. The ground's bathed in sunlight. Whitelaw gets a pretty easy tap, or Jamar gets a pretty easy tap out there, but runs through Beveridge, just gets a clear run at Bigland's quick hands over there to Nick Pesh. Pesh kicks the ball long into the half forward.
24, play just resumed in the AFL. Essendon 9 goals 16-70, Richmond 4 goals 4-28. Back to the Woodville Oval.
Thanks, mate. The ball was bounced in the centre of the ground. Bigland's got the tap down, went to the outer side of the ground, picked up by Jason Earl. Earl goes area. Power State Credit Union scoreboard. Eagles 9-3-57. North Adelaide 4-5-29. It's a 28-point gap in this game at the moment at the 15-minute mark. Ball tapped down. North Adelaide should be able to clear this ball, which they will now. It looks like Broad kicks the ball up. No, that was ball through. You go kick the ball back into the wing area, and Biglands should mark this. The ball's punched clear there by Jamar. Biglands is grabbed by Jamar. Eagles should clear the ball. It's pretty messy in here. Pesh is under pressure. Fine scratcher. Colville goes short into Danny White.
And coming off with an injury.
Yeah, he doesn't look too flash actually. So Paris
Fowden back on for the Roosters.
Paris Fowden goes straight down onto Chris Kluzak.
Jamie tape on for the Eagles, I think.
Yep, tape on for the Eagles. And a mark taken on the left. He grabs the ball. In he comes. He throws it up this time. He's had enough of the bounces. And up they go. Picked up by Ben Setchell off the ground. He spun around as he gets his kick on. McCarthy educated thump from behind, back to Setchell. That's how far the thump went. Biglands and Jamar doing the ruck work. Up they go. Biglands too strong. Got over the top of Jamar. Picked up for the Eagles by Johnny Floriani. He got out a quick handball. They're 2-1 here, North Adelaide. They should mark the ball, but they won't. Oh, running through.
63 the Eagles. North Adelaide 4-5-29. We're in the forward pocket for North Adelaide. Ball in here, and it's Biglands over at the top. Wintle tries to do something here. He's trying to make an impact on this game, and it's pretty scratchy in there. Speaking of scratchy, bounced. And we're going to have Biglands and Whitelaw going at it. Hargraves goes for the tap out here. The Eagles should clear. Jamie Tape has the ball, has time, kicks it, settles down. He's looking for John Floriani. He overruns the ball, but he keeps it in. He's the ball just tipped over the line on the half forward line now for North Adelaide. It was like Swan actually going in the ruck there, and there Colville has the ball off the ruck tap out, back to Floriani, who gives the ball back to Holland. Holland's had the ball on a shoestring at the moment, and he's going to look wide. He's going to go back out here.
Yeah, speaking of Gallagher, he just got the handball out. They go towards centre half forward. And a good mark there taken by Matthew Manfield. Manfield straight on with the play. He doesn't muck around towards Bigland. Bigland puts the hands up and says, thank you very much. And Biglands will go back and line up for his second goal for the game, the first for this quarter.
Well, it's the danger time of the quarter, isn't it, for North Adelaide, getting towards the end of the quarter. And
I hate to say it, Frosty, I think the damage is already done, mate.
It could already have been done, Gary, if he kicks this.
That's a nice kick by Biglands, straight over the goal umpire's head. He makes no mistake. Biglands gets his second goal, John. Second goal for Biglands.
Yes.
The Eagles stretch their lead even further now. 12 goals, 370.
They were going to be very competitive, but unfortunately they just allowed the Eagles, through loose checking mainly, to get on top.
Ball towards the grandstand wing from the centre bounce, goes out of bounds and will be thrown in on 4.5 minute mark of the second quarter. Ball thrown in. Biglands, up he goes. He didn't get the tap down that time. Getting the tap down was Martin Whitelaw. He got the handball out to Scott Sutherland, to Scott Bamford, and he got it across to Tim Cook, who kicks the ball towards.
SANFL football, local football brought to you. Ball up here, ball in, and it's Whitelaw getting the tap out there, and it's pretty tight in there. Scotty Sutherland's going to run into two Eagles players, but he's well tackled there by Shirley once again. No, that was Floriani.
Strong work there from Floriani.
Very strong. They look very impressive today, the Eagles. And we're going to have a bounce down just about in the same spot. And we're going to have Whitelaw and Biglands going at each other here. Biglands just easily disposes of Whitelaw, but the hands is interrupted there with Newbury, the handball. But great tackle there by Newbury to follow up on Beveridge, but too late. Beveridge got it away to Wise. The boys got on a ball, and it's not marked here. They're under a lot of pressure, and the Eagles should easily mop this up. Biglands will give the ball over
Lovely
to
handball.
Kluzak, who just walks in the goal, and it is a nut. Oh, well, gee, I tell you what, I'd like to see that one again if we could get a replay of it. It looked like it had gone through to here, but the umpire...
Here's kick two.
All right.
Yeah, the one snap in the corner.
Yep. Jamar gets a tap out here. Tim Cook has the ball. It's pretty tight in there for North Adelaide. A lot of pressure they're under at the moment. The Eagles are relentless here today, and there are stacks on the middle, and we're going to have a bounce. And they're watching a very one-sided game of football here at the moment with a 70-point lead to the Eagles. Bounce up here, and that's Biglands and Jamar going at it again. The Eagles will clear in the agency of Jason Earl. He kicks it high up to the half-forward line here. Two North Adelaide players set for the mark. 8:38.
I thought you would have kept your eyes off the scoreboard, Storky.
We've got to do the call right, John. We've got to do the call right. Got to let our listeners know what the scores are.
North Adelaide have got the ball anyway. They're trying to run it hard through the centre. They will now with a handball. They run to the... Anyway, the ball about to be thrown up. Up go the ruckman. North Adelaide actually got the ruck tapped down. Went down to David Windle. It was a very lazy handball, and a couple of North Adelaide players out there getting a little bit lazy too. Windle's gone and got the ball himself. He was at the
Bucks, but then couldn't take the ball away.
Shirley with the ball. He's got Gallagher short. Gallagher runs onto this. He just stopped and very clever then. Let his North Adelaide opponent run past him. Biglands with the ball across to Floriani. Floriani comes down the... They lead 17-6, 108. North Adelaide 5-8, 38 at the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. Ball in. Here goes the Eagles again. Kluzak caught behind this time. Forward pocket now for the Eagles.
Ball in here in the forward pocket for the Eagles, and the ball's going to come back into play. We're going to have Jamar going at it with Biglands. This has been a pretty good contest between these two fellas at the moment. Colville's got a hand for about possession number 4,000. And he gets...
Ball back in the centre of the ground. Umpire comes in. Jamar and Biglands about to do battle once again. Has been a good battle, but I think Biglands has had the better of it. Up they go, and as I say that, Jamar gets the tap. Picked up by Scotty Sutherland. He goes towards...
North Adelaide really gone to sleep now, John.
Yeah, they certainly have. Ball about to be thrown in again. Once again, Jamars and Biglands to do battle as they throw the ball in. Biglands just grabbed it out of the air, handballed it across. Here's Gallagher again onto that trusty left foot, goes towards the centre of the ground. Oh! And what an absolute match. And with the ball is, it's either McClure or Pesh. I think it's McClure. With the ball, goes to the half-forward line to Biglands. Biglands goes over the top to Gallagher. He's on the wrong leg. Goes right foot towards goal. Towards.
Every time I tackle a Roosters player, put him on the ground. That's fair enough. That's good. Bit of physical aggression never hurt anybody.
But at least their hands are on the football.
Yeah. Why would you waste your time watching the rugby?
Careful.
Anyway,
Okay.
Ball bounced on the outer side of the ground. Half forward since three-quarter time. The Eagles 19-6, 120, leading North 7-9, 51. Up they go. Jamar got the tap down. Socket off the ground there by the Eagles players. They go to that outer side flank again. And leading in the race for the ball was Wise, but he got outdone by the North Adelaide players. The mark taken across the centre by Daniel Winter. Winter goes towards something to be happy about. They're playing the Bays next week.
The Bays will take them again.
They can look to next week. Up they go. Jamars and Bigland. Bigland crashed through him and got the tap down. Here's Wise again. Wise gets the handball off to the running Earl. Earl goes across to Biglands. Look at Biglands. He's got more toe than a Roman sandal on the outer side wing. He run hard at that ball. Now he goes long and high towards full forward. Kluzak's outnumbered. Play on, calls the umpire. Kluzak at the ball again. This is Kluzak of the Christopher variety. He got the ball out. A mark taken.
Learn that. I mean,
but I don't know that this is... I would have suggested this is exactly the scoreline you'd expect, and perhaps it's a little better than you would have expected.
Ball about to be bounced. Big words there from Fiona. Sauntering. She probably doesn't know what it means anyway because she hasn't brought a dictionary with him. North, I think, not Kluzak. Anyway, they look alike. Ball about to be thrown in. Outer side wing of the Woodville Oval. Biglands puts that big body in and just shifts the North Adelaide ruckman like he wasn't there. But the tap went straight to a North Adelaide player. Ben Setchell off the half-forward line for North Adelaide. Took a good...
Even in that one, 15 to North's 14. But I guess 46 kicks more than makes up for it.
Thanks, Brownie. Jamar and Biglands to go in the centre. Biglands gets the tap out. The ball favoured him that way. And Scotty Sutherland will try and pick the pieces up here, but the Eagles are right on top of him. Three of them just mobbing the North Adelaide players when they go to tackle them. Ball in the centre now. Biglands and Jamar to go at it again. Jamar's played very well for North Adelaide. Biglands gets the tap out this time. Setchell picks the crumbs up. He tries to get around two Eagles players, gets a handball at the Newbury.
Players down, whereas the Eagles go in there and they hold them back.
That's right. They've tackled fiercely all day, the Eagles. Biglands was actually held out of that ruck competition. He looked at the umpire for a free, didn't get one. And there's a free kick for a high tackle. And that free kick will go.
Okay, the ball there out of defence. The player there for the Norwood side running the ball over the boundary line was Stephen Daniels. Good defensive play by the fullback.
Yes, good ruck contest from the boundary throw. In comes to Bigland. Bigland bangs his way through the pack and kicks a throw, and the offender will be Cotton, and he ends up the free kick goes to Beveridge.
That was a very good guess by the umpire because he couldn't see it, but he was spot on, I tell you.
He certainly was. The ball comes down towards centre half forward. Gallagher, he tries to run through the back.
Ball game so far in favour of the Eagles. It's 33 playing 32 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Biglands with a height advantage, jumps high over the pack. McLean stays down, ends up getting a tap forward. Comes over to Matty Kluzak. Quick shot at goal. It comes in running Wise and also Chapman off him. It's worked reasonably well today. Brett James hasn't had the influence so far. Tap forward ends up with Kluzak, I think it was. Well, not Kluzak. Ends up with Floriani, I beg your pardon. And he bangs it towards...
Right in front of the 5RPH commentary team, Dennis Brown.
Yes, and one wonders why the boundary umpire never called that ball out.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Definitely rolled out, and he called it in. Anyway, ball taken by Floriani. He kicks a high ball up towards half forward.
Time at the MCG. It's 5 goals, 12 Adelaide. They trail Richmond 10 goals 4, and that's courtesy of Barry Cattle Crash.
Down goes the bounce. The tap down was missed by Morton, but it came back to McLean. Scotty Bassett was in front. The handball.
Game here at the parade. Eagles 40. They lead the Redlegs 38.
Bounce down, as you heard Andy say, just 20 metres out from the Norwood goal. Down it goes. Biglands, I think it was, made front position. The ball comes out towards the pocket. Chance here for Brett.
Come on, and McLean's come off. And also then the player coming back on there is John Cunningham, and I didn't see who the player was that came off.
Scotty Borlace came off. Straight in the ruck was big Jonathan Newbury against Biglands. Biglands got the tap forward, but Brett James, the man with, as they...
And the Eagles 44 lead Norwood 44 lead the Eagles 40.
Yeah, and John Floriani off for the Eagles, Jason Earl on as the ball's thrown in. The Eagles trying to break away. Just at the moment, they're down the gurgler by just 4 points. It's been a rip snorter of a 44 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Eagles are 6-4-40. Umpire bouncing the ball just outside the 50, the attacking 50 for the legs. Up they go. The ball tapped down by Biglands. High ball back towards the half-back. I'm trying to take the mark there.
Yes, Biglands and Yerbury will contest the boundary throw-in. It has been a very entertaining game of footies at 8. Yerbury was front and square, tried to feed it off to Paul James, but he couldn't take it. Brett James is in and under once again. Also is Daniel Wise, and the ball goal.
She's starting to get a little bit scrappy this game at the moment. The skills aren't going as silky as they have been. We've had 3 or 4 boundary throw-ins in a row, and we need to get some good play going.
Almost 20 minutes gone in the second quarter. Front and square was Paul James. He's battling.
Well, I thought it was in the back, and the umpire indicated that he was pushed him, but...
No, he said it was a mount, not a push.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to mount them tonight, so Kevin James is the umpire in question, throws the footy down, working well. Two contesting players, one being...
Matthews showed as much pace as you'd see this night tonight, because he ran him down, forced the error, and thus the throw-in is taking place deep in the forward pocket.
Brad Smith and Biglands go at it. Biglands gets a tap towards his defensive player, who taps it off the ground towards the boundary line. McClure a few moments earlier, Smithy.
Yeah, it certainly is, and again, defensive play by the Eagles is forcing the ball out.
Just trying to soak up a bit of time coming up to half-time here at the Parade Oval on Friday Night Football. Taps front and square. Again, Biglands is working well in there. Gets his head down his tail.
Football courtesy of Stanley's Fish Cap.
Brad Smith and Biglands will contest the third boundary throw-in. On these occasions, you generally find a free kick. Bassett working well there. Scotty Bassett, that is. He wrapped up McClure, I think it was.
Radiothon 8231 1197 for all your donations. 8231 1197.
Let's see if we can get the ball clear. Comes towards the boundary line once again. At the bottom of the pack was Gallagher. Carslake was there working it over the boundary line. And DB...
Mate, the distance, no, so it's going to drop short. Is anybody up there to take a mark?
Whoa.
Well, it certainly has. And there is a equal contender for the mark of the year by the 100-game player in Stephen Hall, or was it Rhett Biglands?
I think it was Biglands, wasn't it?
It was Biglands. He's hip. I tell you, pretty confident at 7th the mark from the back half on your defensive line.
Oh, yeah.
He just steadies now. He's got to bring it in.
Don't worry about team rules and punching.
Yes, he's looking for Lindsay. They both wrestle. Over the back of the pack was a big ruckman with the red legs in Yerbury on the left foot. He measured the kick beautifully.
Inside, bangs a high ball. Up towards half forward. Up they fly. Oh, there's any number of players in that pack. Neil had it for a brief moment, then lost it. The ball thrown out there to Chapman. Dodged past a couple of players, then threw it on the left boot up towards half forward at the back. Almost a good mark.
By Dawes is good. Front and square, though, is Scotty Matthews. Now playing in attack. Kicks it towards the goal line, but working back beautifully. It was Biglands Sanford, and he took it just inside the goal line. He tries to play on, but he played on over his mark.
The player there in Gallagher and up towards half forward. No one can take the mark. The ball spills loose. Beautifully picked up by McCarthy. Dodges one way, then the other. The handball, the turnover could be costly here as Big Lindsay tries to pick up the ball. In fact, it's Bigland gets it over to his teammate there. Who
points Smithy about a metre around from the point post.
Yeah, Kluzak actually forced his way in there. The Sanford was going to take the mark, but Kluzak actually ran at him, forced the error, and then the ball has rolled over the boundary line for the throw-in deep in the attacking zone for the Eagles.
Ball thrown in now, comes across to Chris Kluzak. He's thrown off the ball as he tries to have a kick at it. Working well in the front of the pack was Wise. Wise ends up with Biglands, who kicks to the top of the square. Can we have a mark by Matthews at the back? We can't. Colville's front and square, gets a beautiful slick handball from his teammate. It came out from Scotty Matthews.
The umpires paid the FAD. Richard, you're getting a bit excited in your 200th game, mate, as Floriani kicks the ball up to the right full forward pocket. Up they fly. They were looking for Big Lindsay offhand. It rebounds to Lindsay. The ball's at his feet. He can't pick it up. A couple of Eagles there. Lend a hand, and there'll be sacks on the mill for a bounce down a right full forward pocket.
Yeah, Floriani could have probably did it.
3 to 12, 880, the boundary throw-in. Out comes Holland, the little handball, looking for Wise. Wise picked it up, had it one hand held, then got the handball out, gave it to McCarthy. Clever work by him. He gave it over there to Tate in turn to Floriani, who just had a touch of the fumbles. He just
towards McClure. McClure runs, he's on the burst, he's away towards the forward 50. Inside having a mark there was Earl. Front and square was Chrissy Kluzak, feeds it off towards Biglands. Can he have a shot at goal on the check side towards the top of the square? We have a mark, a fly by Clements. Front of the pack though, Scotty Matthews, Smithy. He just steady, kept his eye on the ball.
Why not? You've got boot the ball. That's a kick in my book. Boundary umpire about to throw the ball in as Marsh comes off.
and Smith on, couldn't work out why he went on from the first place as the ball is taken in the pocket by the Red League. Terrific second half. The ball has been thrown in, and as a free kick against Biglands will go the way of Yerbury. Yerbury now, Jonathan Yerbury towards centre half forward. Who's he looking for there? Hewitt tried to take it one hand, couldn't do so. In there is Maitland, and I would suggest that to go all the way in 2001, they've got to find themselves a goal kicker, a full forward, a spearhead that can someone they can kick to, and they haven't got that at the moment. The handball came out from James Cotton. Can he pick it up? He can. He goes on.
Colby intended there for McInnes, but he slipped over to vital stage. The ball is thrown out to wide. The kick smothered. It's back in towards centre half forward. In goes the blow there, and Earl. He lost it. Here's a chance though for Biglands to kick the ball up only as far as John Cock though. He bangs it back out there towards the half-back. Floriani led in the race with the ball coming through as Wilson. He forces the ball forward area for the Eagles. Archie in there also. Chris Clusack. He pumps the ball out to Biglands. Biglands around the body. The umpire won it running away to his left and goes through for the minor score.
Now, would that be to our right?
Yeah, that's to our right and to his left, and the Eagles go to 1-3-9. They lead the Maggies yet to score, and probably not.
Floriani now just steadies things down. Plenty of players in his forward 50. Bangs a kick towards the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Big Rhett Biglands at the back of the pack. He can't take a mark, has two bites at it. Comes down to McInnes, back to over. So we'll have a boundary throw-in about 10 metres around for the Eagles' point post.
Yeah, Biglands probably should have held that one, DB. He had two grabs at it, and he got the first grab quite comfortably, but then dropped it after that.
There's the throw-in. Biglands with a left-hand tap. Who's it going to favour? Here's a chance here.
They're feeded off by hand to Floriani. He's got Fiacci now in support. Fiacci now bangs it to the hot spot, looking up there towards Biglands. He can't take the mark. Back there is Matthews working in support as well. Biglands tries to crash his way through the pack and does so. Across to Matthews. Can we get a goal? He can't. He's a beautiful smother by Corey Archie. He's working very hard in and under. Again, there is Biglands trying to crash his way through once again. He does manage to get through, Smitty, just to knock it over for a minor score.
Yeah, he did that very well, didn't he, the big fella? He
15 players around the ball as Ricky Ali comes in over the top, sprawls towards the forward 50, but it lands in the arms of Stephen Hall. Kicks a left foot towards the outer side wing. First there is Biglands. He kicks it off the ground. He's hotly pursued by his opposition in David Green. Both big lumps of lads, and they knock it out of the outside for a boundary throw-in about 80 metres from the Eagles' goal.
There's the boundary throw in, Biglands v Green. Biglands tried to take it out of the air, couldn't do so. Spilled down to Tony Brown. He gave it over there to Floriani, gave it over to Colville. Colville now up towards the full forward area. Out in front, mate, Maggie from first there through John Cross. The ball spilled out off his chest. Back into its pack of players. And the umpire will bounce it almost on the 50-metre area for the Eagles. He
counts down. Richard Fox has got the burley. And will he bounce it or throw it up? I think they're going to be consistent all day and throw it up, so there's no confusion. Lindsay at the front of the pack. Big fly over the back by Rhett Biglands. Gallagher will lead in the chase of the ball, along with Matty Cluser.
Centre wing, and that's the way the footy goes. And Scotty Matthews now taking the mark outer side for the Eagles. He'll pump them into attack. There's a kick up towards half forward on the outer side at the back. Biglands used his body to get rid of his opponent, then dropped the mark. It came to Burgoyne. Burgoyne to wait right back.
He can't take a mark. It's scored away beautifully from behind. Front and square is Earl. Feeds it by hand towards McClure. Get rid of it quick, son, because you'll be tackled. He does. Kicking towards centre half forward. The target is Biglands, who picks it up on the half volley well. Feeds off a handball towards Manfield. Manfield now ambles through the centre square and kicks a 25-minute mark of this second quarter. Burgoyne brings the ball back into the Magpies. Good-looking kick up towards centre half back. Big fly in the back by Biglands. He can't take it. Comes down to Tony Brown. They're away and running now. He's got players in support. One of them being Wilson. Wilson's up beautifully. Floriani grabs hold of him. Trying to get a free kick. Comes in support is Tony Brown on the right foot. Kicking towards Holmes. Spoiled over the back by Biglands. Stevens is there front and square along with Gallagher. Gallagher steals it however for the Eagles. He's had plenty to...
Leading the Eagles 6-10, 46 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Only 3 goals kicked in this third quarter as we just go into time on. Ball down towards McInnes. McInnes kicks it off the ground with his left foot towards half-forward flank. First there is Brown. Brings to get the left hand. Tap inside there, but first there is Polton. Polton falls the ball, comes back inside. Does it cleverly. Smothered though by Manfield. Bottom of the pack is Colville. And that little terrier, Alfie Steve, is in there with him. At 50.
Yeah, great smother there by big Rhett Biglands. Actually came in across the face of the ball, smothered it and held it up in the area. Good play there by Rhett Biglands.
Right, Biglands actually got that tap down. Bolton's going to be first there if he can pick it up. He does. He goes to ground. The ball's underneath and he taps it out to the side.
Right in front of the 5 RPH commentary team where it's 46 to 53 in favour of Port Adelaide.
Lindsay, it is the back of the packet. In fact, it was Biglands. Comes down in the arms of Clayton. Clayton is away. Looking towards Tony Brown on the outer side. He's got one
in here. And just at the moment, they're doing most of the attacking as Stephen Hall will bring the ball to the grandstand side. Any number of players up. O'Connor was there too. Spilled out to Tate. Tate puts the ball towards the boundary line here. John Floriani got meter of Johnny. The ball is kicked to Scotty Matthews. Matthews had Gallagher running past, but he decided to go to centre wing. Biglands is there, should take the mark. Does take the mark. That's about the first one he's taken all day. He has got his hands on a few though. The ball goes short. The siren goes. The pass is on the way. Wade took the mark. But in any case, the siren had sounded. He wouldn't make a difference anyway as the umpire said, give me that footy, son, you can't have it anymore. And
Yes, it was that forced the throw in right on the 50-metre arc at the southern end here of the Woodville Oval.
first goal vital here in this last quarter as the Clouds do threaten. Bounced out, ball in now, bottom of the pack is Colville. The ball squeezed out towards Clayton. Clayton gets a quick hit.
Comes in now, the drop punch on the way. That's the first goal is an absolute Barry Crocker of a kick. It was a shocking one. But as we said, the first kick off the goal will be a very important one. He hasn't got that at this stage.
Yeah, Tommy Carr was in the right spot at the right time as it comes out to that defensive 50. James Wilson's got it. He's got big O'Connor tipped it into Closak.
He did well. I think Big Paul Lindsay, DB's got the honours today in that ruck contest.
Yeah, just a bit more mobile than Big Rhino. As the kick is a shocker though, if you give him a rap as it comes up towards the half-forward flank offhand, who's going to be first there? It's picked up by...
Off to Warrior, feeds out to Island again. He's just steady, the young fella, and he didn't make the most of it. Comes out towards McCarthy. McCarthy bangs it in towards his forward 50. Over the back is Colville. Working well there is Biglands. If he picks it up there away, fed it towards Skipworth. If he steadies...
Today, DB have really been lacking a forward. As you said, last week they had a couple of players and kicked 4 goals. This week they've only can manage 2 to Peter Fiarchi, and they're both in the first half.
19 scoring shots apiece, but the Eagles have been offline when it comes to goal.
Fruition because the umpire has held the ball aloft and he's about to thump it into the turf. Down it goes, up it rises, no one can get a tap away. Beveridge is first there for the Eagles, got one high and will take the free kick. So Beveridge now will go back and a 20.
Kluzak is a real confidence player. He did tack that ball very hard and strong, so he might be in for a good day today.
Biglands and Conway will contest the bounce down. Conway got front position, tapped towards Squire. Squire's wrapped up by Nicky Pesh and umpire Timothy.
The umpires today, Tim Fiver, Darcy Wright and Darren Ryan.
Yes, the Sharon goes into the turf. Conway taps it down. Shark by Nicky Pesh, kicks at the top of the square. McGuinness is underneath and Geddes over the back with a spoil. Out towards Molsey. No, it's not Clun because Clun's right in front of us. No, it was Young Reece Schulz. And we'll have a throw up, centre wing out of side.
Umpire bounces the ball and first there is Lennon who kicks it on the left boot up towards me as far as height is concerned, but time will tell as the umpire has the ball back in the centre.
Hall's picked up Burton at centre half forward.
Down goes the bounce, up they go. The ball tapped down to Beveridge, dodges one way then the other, will come onto the right boot and put it up towards the...
Is Skipworth.
Yep.
Skipworth in front of Reece Schulz. Be a good match-up that. 2 up-and-coming young players. Skipworth inside of Biglands. As we said before the game, a big job for Biglands today without Lindsay in the side. Biglands kicks it short and chopped off by the double blue defender in Conway. Conway now looking towards outer side of Curtis. The kick had to be perfect.
Jamie Tate, but now Stephen Hall picking up at Julian Burton.
Yes, the Eagles on ball has just gathered around Biglands to form some sort of set play, one would think. Biglands it is, taps it down towards Skipworth. Skipworth folded up and feeds it across towards Colville. Colville can now pick it. Beautiful day here, overcast. It's not cool, not overly cool as the footy goes down. Biglands and Conway go against it. Tap down towards Fiarchi, the second game, but feeds it off towards Colville. Colville over towards Floriani.
39 lead Hawthorn 4-4-28. Scores thanks to Cattle Crash Repair. Back to Woodville.
Yes, thank you, Peter Greco. Down goes the bounce. Conway with a thumping punch right up towards centre half forward. It's all the Eagles though. Floriani has already covered a bit of ground.
He only playing his second game very good last week, wasn't he, Undies?
He was terrific on his debut, kicking 3 goals. Umpire throws a footy into the turf. Front of the back was Conway, gets a tap in favour of Wicks. Wicks kicks it off the ground towards Burton. Burton taps it into his check side towards Brent. 2 feet and kicked it again.
Not sure, but I'll have to look at the dictionary. There's the ball thrown
3-3-21 lead Central's 1 point. Port 7-4-46 lead Hawthorn 4-6-30. And Carlton 10-4-64 lead the West Coast Eagles 1-4-10. Scores thanks to the Cattle Crusher pair. Back to Woodville.
Yeah, bounce down taken by Beveridge.
Yeah, 17 minutes gone in this first quarter as the tap goes down. First there is Squire, gets a handball out towards the running Weatherald. Weatherald feeds off to Curtis. Curtis shuffles it in the arms of Reece Schulz. Back to Weatherald, over to Maloney in a chain half forward. Juicer Burton now plays on, kicks it back to the true centre full position. Big men back there. One of them is Biglands, flying the back by White. Crumb well by Lennon. Lennon kicks the right foot into the forward pocket. Can Atkinson take a mark? He can't. If he didn't get it away, they were away and running double blue. Floriani run it up beautifully.
Yeah, the ball kicked down the centre wing and tipped down by Bigland. He can't do much with it. Picked up there by Earl, was it? Shirley. The ball still at centre wing and
now just using his strength there to be able to thump the ball out of bounds. Grandstand side here at the Woodville Oval.
Conway's got front position. Biglands comes in over the back. No one can get a clear tap forward. Wicks shovels it in favour of Curtis. Curtis feeds the handball off the clun. And they're away and running.
Just a good sign for the double blue. Stephen White, that grab he took here a moment ago, that was as clean as a whistle as the ball goes out to centre wing. Big Bishop up there. Also White got the handball over the top. Here's the chance now for McGeary. McGeary now gets the handball over to Squire. He'll try and
being made, guys. Fancy that this early in the game normally.
No, you don't, but they certainly are happening here at the moment. Down goes the bounce. The ball favours Bigland. Came out to Pesh. Pesh gets the handball over to Floriani on the right boot up towards half-forward. Maybe the mother of
Seamus Maloney, who effectively did a good tackle, ran into the goals. Seamus Maloney's first goal.
You don't know about that ball. I mean, all 3-4 Eagles. Problems as the umpire holds the ball aloft. He's about to thump it into the turf once again. Down it goes. Conway v Bigland. In fact, it favoured Lennon. That was a poor bounce, and Lennon just took it out and kicked it up towards centre half forward. Out in front there with McCarthy. Hit him on the knees and rebounded. But
actually comes over the tops or does get a tap in. He's amazing at the throw-ins of the boundary line. There twice in the last two throwdowns he's actually got the tap, and it's favoured him again. There's another one to him. So good ploy there by the double blues.
Yes, Conway it is works there against Biglands. Biglands kicked it off the ground. Ends up in the arms of Fiarchi, working at the bottom of the pack. Over the top was Squire. About 30 metres from the Eagles' goal.
Interesting there. Chris Redgrove actually gave it up. He thinks that I think he thought that Kluzak had marked it, but he did mark it and it bounced out of bounds and a throw-in subsequently taking place.
Yeah, the ball tapped down by Bigland, but
he comes in. First time we've had young Darcy umpiring today. He's done a pretty good job to date. He'll bounce the Sharon into the turf. Front of the pack is Conway, but Biglands gets the tap towards his forward 50. First there is Fiarchi, can't kick it off the ground. Skipworth his Sharks
area because he was getting tackled by a couple of double blues players. Forced it on the boot and it did travel a long way.
Boundary throw in right, full forward pocket. Biglands at the back, tapped it down, but to no one in particular. Who's going to be first there? Clun. He got it over to Thurston to drop the ball. Will bounce the ball about 40 metres out from the Eagles' goal.
Good play there by the double blues to get numbers back in defence.
And the bounce comes down out the back to Skipworth. He tries to go through a pack. Actually threw the ball away one-handed. Umpire said he could do that.
Squizzy Squire came over the back and said, "I'm going to spoil this one, boys."
Yeah, it looked like that Lennon had all the time they would have marked their ball, but Squire came over the top and just thumped it away.
Conway front position, but he taps it down. Shark by Pesh. Ends up with Newitt. Newitt's slung to the ground by Conway. It's down. which is what's going to happen. And Darragh Ryan is the umpire in question. He'll bounce it down right on the point of the kick-off line.
Yeah, the Double Blues did that well in defence. They was 2-on-2 and they were able to hold the ball in the area. Well done.
Right, the ball tapped down by Biglands to Chris Kluzak.
Chris Kluzak.
Well, also Bigland, what they said about Bigland accepting the responsibility. He's certainly been one of the Eagles' better player, and he's done that 2 or 3 times already. That beautiful tap down to a teammate. He's done it again in the centre. The player in question was Skipworth, but the handball was intercepted.
Top of the square very, very quickly and was able to, Steve Mott, to be 1 out, and a big man like that was very hard to get around, and next he took the good strong mark.
Footy goes down back in the centre. Conway and Biglands go up, lands in the arms of Sheedy, who gets a quick kick forward.
Scores thanks to Cattle Crush Repair, back to Woodville.
Yes, back in the middle of the ground. Coach Carmen's put young Sheedy onto Colville to try to quieten him down as the ball goes down. Beautiful tap by Biglands. Sharked, however, by Squire for the Double Blues.
For another throw in between centre wing and half forward outer side for the Eagles.
41 plays 40 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, stirred by a point at this stage of the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
Conway's got front position, but it ends up in the arms of Biglands. Biglands taps it across towards a teammate in Colville. Colville around on the right.
His second goal.
Yes, well, despite the injury problems the Eagles have, they've turned a 10-point deficit at quarter time into a 5-point lead as the ball goes down. Once again, the tap was by Biglands, but intercepted by Sheedy this time up the half forward.
I think he's just having a rest. He's been on the ball most of the day, now at half forward.
Yeah, well, he's a bit unlucky there. The ball just bounced away from him. He was in front position. The ball tapped down by Conway, trying to burst his way through there for the Eagles. One wing and half forward outer side for the Eagles.
Yes, the 2 ruck combatants will be Conway and Biglands. Once again, been an entertaining contest. I think Biglands has probably got the honours so far. He taps it over towards Fiachi. Fiachi feeds it off to Nicky Eagles' goal.
Yeah, good attack on the ball there by Nick Pesh, running hard and tough at the ball. Kept the ball in front of him, took it well, but unfortunately had to go, ran out of bounds with it, and the throw in replied.
Conway's got front position, taps it in the arms of Curtis. Curtis feeds it off to Sheedy, who shrugs off.
Back grandstand tie, has got a lot to kick to. Biglands is his target now. Has the big fellas in front from behind Conway. Biglands had the ball in his hands and has dropped it. Not the first time he's done that as he taps it back into play. Sheedy's going to be first there with the wicket. Biglands was there with him. Handball comes to foul. Almost away with it was Fiachi. The ball's underneath Fiachi and there'll be a bounce down. Centre wing, grandstand tight right in front of the 5-8 commentary position.
Yeah, great play there by Rhett Biglands then to be able to run and chase the ball out. Didn't actually take the mark, but didn't give the contest up either. Was able to keep it in bounds. And just with a little bit of luck there, Fiachi could have been away with the ball.
Biglands gets a big punch forward towards half forward. The first will bounce it down as we've got a change being made. Aaron Bishop coming on, and Conway's having a rest just before half-time.
One thing that Matty Power did there was kept the young Fiachi on the outer side of him and was able to hold the ball in the air. Fiachi's got to learn to play on the inside of the ground.
Lure's going to be first there. Kicks the high ball back towards the centre wing. Leading in the race of the ball is Bishop, but in front of Biglands. It favours the big bloke in Biglands. He gets the handball to Floriani. Floriani goes one way, then the other. Then chips up a short ball looking for Fiachi, who's out in front, takes the ball. And was the double blue player that emerged with the footy, but the umpire said, I've blown the whistle and I'm going to bounce it.
Yeah, just a bad skill error there by Fiachi. Did everything right in getting the ball, but then turned it around and just a little short jab kick rather than kicking through the ball.
Biglands pushes the player and says, give me the footy, we'll ball it up just forward of the true centre wing position.
20 minutes gone of this second quarter, courtesy of Ducks Hot Water, and it's the Eagles by 5 points. 46 plays, 41.
As the footy goes down now, working well there is Biglands, tapped in second half at Woodville Oval. Down goes the footy, up goes the ball, and the tap run by Conway taps it towards his opponents and lands in the arms of McClure, who bangs it towards his forward 50. In front of Wisdom was Matthew Kluzak, and he takes a good strong mark. Bangs it towards his brother Chris, and he should find him. He was a manhandled.
It's a family show.
He was manhandled for myself, and we've got a boundary thrown outside.
Boundary thrown on the outer side. Up they go, the ball tapped back out the back. A chance now for Skipworth. Got the handball over to Colville. He'll come back on the left boot and try to...
You hear the crowd in the background not happy with that decision.
I agree. It should have been holding the ball.
No question of that. Holding the ball for mine too.
Throw up now on the outer side. Stephen White's got front position. In fact, it was Conway rather. Ends up towards the boundary line. Tidy on the boundary line. First there's Skipworth. Got players in support right in front of the Sports Power Furl sign.
It certainly is, and it's actually 56 plays, 68 goals, 8 the Double Blues. They trail the Eagles 9-6-60.
Right, the tap down by Biglands to Skipworth. Skipworth gave it over to the Double Blues, and they trail on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. They're 8-8-56. The Eagles are 9-6-60. There's the throw in. Up they go, Bigland v Conway. The ball comes down. Who's first there? Gallagher, I think it was. In goes.
Up from the outer side of the ground. Will have a shot at goal. He's already kicked two. Comes in now. The drop punt's on its way. It's a real wobbly kick, a real finger breaker. Over the back there, but in front was the player there, Chris Kluzak. Reads it off well. Has a shot at goal, but it just goes
down in a soft part of the ground. The ruck combatants will be Conway and Biglands. Good bounce by umpire Timmy Pfeiffer. Conway smacks it with his right hand, lands out in the favour of Nicky Pesh. Pesh, quick kick towards his right half forward. First out of play, and boundary throw in, left half forward. The ruckman meander over, one being Conway, the other one being Biglands. Conway gets a tap with the left hand. First there's Newitt looking for Wise, but Conway stole it from him. Sheedy's
still 12 minutes gone in this third quarter, no goals scored.
Skipworth now bangs the ball right to right half back, looking for Biglands. Can he take a mark? He can't, because the big spoil over the back by Burton. Fiachi was there, he tapped it to forward, got it back from Jamie Tate.
Lead Hawthorn 9-13-67 and Carlton 20-19-139. Lead West Coast 3-11-29. Scores thanks to Cattle Crash Repair. Back to Woodville.
The ball's bounced back here in the centre of the ground. It comes to in favour of the Eagles.
Who's now 9 goals, 9-63. They trail the Eagles by 3 points. 10 goals, 7-67 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, more to the point, I think Burton knew Wicks had more pace than he did. As the ball is taken out of the centre by McClure, up toward the leader.
It took us 12 minutes to get our first goal. We've had 3 in 3 minutes, so goals are piling on here at the Woodville Oval. Bounce down now. Rhett Biglands goes against it, taps it in favour of Newitt. Newitt squeezes the handball out towards McClure, but shark by Sheedy. That left foot towards right half forward. Target up there is Scotty Matthews. He can't take it because Thurston manhandled him. Kicked off to the ground and it falls in the arms of Kluzak. If he can pick it up, he can't. Working back there was a double Blues defenders, one of them being Bishop. Bishop squeezed a kick out towards Woosnam. Woosnam now looking wide.
Who ran in and kicked his first goal. Good play, good coaching move by Ron Fuller.
Yes, and Biglands, they said that he would play a lot better game today, and that's certainly the case. Look, he tapped it down. This time Weatherall read the tap and intercepted as it comes out to Burton.
I'll bounce it down, left half forward.
25 minutes gone, courtesy of Ducks Hot Water this third quarter. It's the double Blues by 20, the Eagles by 20 points.
First there is Newitt, feeds off by hand to Colville. Has a shot from outside 50, is going to go right to the kick, squeezed out to Brody Atkinson. Atkinson now got a player in support in Bishop. He takes a mark in front of Biglands.
Yeah, and then a shocking kick by Bishop. It goes along the ground almost, like a rabbit running across the turf. Unfortunately, there's a free kick going.
Peter Fiachi.
Yeah, Fiachi now on the left boot will bomb it up towards the half forward flank. At the back of Bigland going for the second grab. Bishop claimed the mark. The umpire said no, it wasn't. Play it on, boys, and it's held to Bishop. There'll be a bounce down on left half forward for the Eagles. They've certainly turned it around for the Eagles.
Bishop's got front position. He taps it towards a Clun, who picks it up and had it and lost it. Working back there for the Eagles is Pesh, and it's 3-on-1 in favour of the Eagles, and that's putting the arms of Wise. He's got players in support here. Newitt feeds it up by hand towards Pesh. Shark by Squire, but back in the lands of Newitt. Working at the bottom of the pack is Pesh. He feeds off to Biglands. Kick a goal on your right foot, son. He can't do so. Chopped off right on the death knock. Shark by McGuinness, who has a shot at goal on his right foot. He's pretty excited, but
ball game in favour of the Eagles.
Bounce down. Down it goes. That's a good bounce. Tapped down by Bishop. Who's going to be first there? The Eagles once again dragged to the ground for another bounce down in the exact same spot. And the umpire is Tim Pfeiffer.
A magnificent game too.
Well, it was predicted before the game that he'd rise to the occasion, given the responsibility without Lindsay, and that's exactly what's happened. There's a tap down taken by Weatherall up the left boot towards half forward. Burton being hung on to. The umpire.
A 14-point ball game in favour of the Eagles here at the Woodville Oval. 5 RPH football brought to you by Stanley's Fish Cafe.
Bishop's got front position and he taps it to his forward centre wing, looking for Weatherall. Weatherall had it and he's now got it and he's going to kick it with his right foot.
Deliberate out of bounds there, Smitty.
Yeah, one thing that Weatherall should have done there is brought the ball to centre half forward where the real attacking zone is, pushing it out to the outside side of the ground. It's too easy for the Eagle side just to run it over the boundary line. Is exactly what they just did.
Biglands gives away front position.
The ball dead at the half forward here, and that was paid a mark. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I reckon Wicks hung on to it longer than he did.
Throw up right on the 50.
Mistake.
Bishop taps it down to his check side, and the person he tapped it down to was wrapped up like a leftover Sunday roast by Rhett Biglands, and we'll have another bounce down in the same position.
Yes, just outside of the 50 there for the Double Blues.
Ball tapped down by Biglands. He's certainly getting a few taps as he's come on the ground. Matty Powell.
14-point ball game on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. 15-8-98. That's the Eagles. They lead the Double Blues 12 goals, 12-84.
Tapped down by Biglands. There's a kick up towards the pocket. Fiarchi's going to be first here. He's got the pace. He'll back a little bit behind on that occasion. And the ball had already gone to the head of the square and been marked before we heard the whistle. There's the boundary throw in left full forward pocket. A goal here would just about put the game out of reach of the Double Blues. Biglands out of the air. Did it superbly. And this has been time on the Eagles. 17-8, 110. The Double Blues 12-12, 84. Down goes the bounce. Bigland and Bishop. Bishop backhands a tap out toward Pesh. Been a good player, been a clever player. The ball is intercepted by Matty Powell, who is into time on as I speak. Eagles 17-8, 110. The Double Blues 13-12, 90. Down goes the bounce. Bishop down to Wicks. Beautifully read off hands though by Shirley. Up towards half forward. Matty Kluzak had one hand for the start of this game. That on their day Westies can beat anyone, Smitty, and they must have really turned it on against the league leaders.
Certainly have at this stage.
Down. Sorry, mate?
Certainly have.
The ball taken by Pesh. As we said, been a good player. Up towards Chris.
85, Richardson kick 9. Scores thanks to Cattle Crusher pair, back to Woodville.
And Nicky Pesh coming off and played a very good game. The player coming on for the Eagles is Michael McGuinness, who's already kicked 2 goals.
Right, the ball taken out of centre by Skip. Beautifully gave it to Colville. Colville will go across to Earl, who's out there at centre wing on the outer side. Earl in turn bangs it onto the boot up towards Biglands, and Biglands on the second grab takes the mark, wicks it on very quickly to Shirley, but the umpire doesn't allow that to happen. Not sure why.
Why wouldn't he allow that to happen?
Haven't got a clue as Bigland goes in towards the lead of Manfield, but it falls short. Taken by Maloney, Sturt's best player. He brings it out here, but intercepted is Newitt for the Eagles. He got the ball underneath him. The umpire
tells the puck, comes back inside, just holding onto the foot. He's got support in Powell. Powell now on the right foot, kicks towards left half back flank. It's the tall and the short being Atkinson, the tall being Biglands, but the Double Blues will come away. Maloney's got the ball on the left foot.
Whether it's fitness or not, we don't know, as the ball is taken by Skipworth, the left footer, out towards half back. Who's out there? We've got Shields there, also Biglands. Shields has got the pace to get to the ball in front of Biglands. He can gather it in, he can. He went to handball at the Wicks, but the handball was Australian.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have reported a lost wallet.
Sort that out, umpire.
Ticket number 086194.
Door, butter up, can't pick it up. Goes on the second attempt, cleverly done. He couldn't on the first, he struggled on the second. Murray Hamlin, though, there to cut it off for the Bulldogs. He goes forward, right into their forward 50. Big fire from the back of the pack from a couple of players. Chris Cowan is there. He gets it across to Rick. Gets it out of the dangerous 50 there, looking up to centre wing for a teammate, looking for Gowns. James Type. He's got one to beat, working hard on Floriani. Does it very cleverly. The crowd appreciate that too. On his left boot, goes inside the 50, looking for a teammate, but can't find anyone there. Kynan Ford was playing from behind, and Stephen Hall, or rather Rhett Biglands it is, takes a good defensive mark back from the Crows. Rhett Biglands works along the grandstand side, looking for Colville. Colville has some space.
Now, Michael Stevens, who's looking, and he doesn't need to go long, but he will. And he'll kick long towards 55 metres of the Doggies' goals. The race is on. Biglands fee forward. Biglands, well, showed the agility of an elephant, but it's good enough to get around forward. Finds a teammate. Nice work. Colville runs through the half-back line. Has no...
Big Chris Cowan. Murray Hamlin really should have made more. They had plenty of time to pick that ball up, and instead he felt the pressure there. He heard the footsteps and kicked it off the ground. Luke Cowan it was, and he'll do the ruck work now for the Bulldogs in there with Rhett Biglands. Tap comes down towards Holland. He cleans up pretty nicely. Across to Healy. Healy with a lightning hand pass across to one of the Gowans boys. Comes back to Healy again on the left boot, putting it to the top of the square. Kynan Ford's there, tries to wrestle off Biglands. The ball beats both of them. It's a foot race now. Biglands recovers nicely, pushes forward off the ball, gives it across to Wise, and they butter up nicely there.
McArdle's on the ground for the Doggies. I think he's been interfered with. 2,500 Doggy supporters agree, but the umpire doesn't. That's the important thing. And now Hollands comes in to lend a hand. The advantage is paid up for a free kick, was paid behind play.
And Daniel Healy, he has it a couple of kicks still from goal. He looks up for a lead from Kynan Ford. Lovely kick, lovely lead, lovely football Central District. Kynan Ford takes the diving mark, sliding mark on his knees, I should say. Directly in front, will kick from right on 50.
Played nice work, handballs the ball in the direction of his offside of airing, Chris Gowans, and they go towards 50-metre mark of their own goals. But Rhett Biglands is the stumbling block for them at that particular area. He's been not too bad today, Rhett Biglands.
There's another blue on the other side of the play as well, other side of the ground.
There is indeed, with 4 players involved. You keep an eye on that. I'll keep you with the footy just for now. Free kick paid, another Eagles free kick. Those 50-50 areas. They're once more to Michael Stevens. What can they do this time as Tate comes onto the ground, coming off as Big Lindsay. Kynan Ford wrestling hard there with Biglands, working hard. The crowd doesn't like much there, but the Bulldogs still out of bounds. Just around from the 5-year commentary box will have a throw-in with play in defence for the Eagles. He's got Tate running. He's back onto the ground there, trying to make amends for a bit of a poor start there. Jamie Tate gets it across to Rhett Biglands at centre-half back. He's got a bit of time and space. He bombs away again to centre-half forward, but no one's there for the Eagles. Burrowing back there is Quinton Graham, working pretty hard. He's set upon by a couple of players. The umpire could pull something out here, and he does. The centre Holland draws Michael Stevens. Handballs to Wise. Wise on the left foot has Biglands on the break. Grandstand side centre wing. Takes the easiest of chest mark. Plays on. A nice punt kick gained 50 metres towards the 50. A big fly from the back. It was Hoffman that couldn't take the mark. But again, they've just got numbers at the ball, the Doggies.
Warming up there on the sidelines. It's amazing that he's actually started on the bench, but that's how strong Centrals are at the moment. It is boundary throw in, centre wing, grandstand side. The ball tapped out in the direction of Beveridge. He's trying to crack his way through. He's having to work hard against Slade. Comes to Floriani. Clever give across to Wise. Fence running the ball out, and all they see is Eagle Guernseys. It was the other way around in the first quarter.
Biglands up against Arnold. Biglands gets the tap. Can he find a teammate? He searches for Beveridge, and Beveridge searches for Earl. Coming in beautifully also was Hewitt.
There's no easy kicks on Elizabeth Oval today.
Ball bounced down. Arnold up against the Biglands. Arnold's had the better of Biglands in the last couple of minutes. McClure, though, for the Eagles, sends the ball to within 50. Nice mark, butt of the back. The Doggies are standing pretty firm, coming grandstand side. Open up the door for the Eagles, and it does. McClure inboard to Biglands. Biglands kicks towards McCarthy. McCarthy, second grab, takes the mark. Nice work. Good change by Ronnie Fuller, the coach, because he's had 3 touches in the opening 2 minutes of his time on the ground. Another change for the Eagles. Bianchi to come off and Pesh to come on.
Been a free kick, was going to play advantage, but it will go back to big Damien Arnold. He's got a runner in Matthew Slade. Call him Eva Roy if you like. He kicks a wobbly kick up towards centre wing. Chipping in there was Allison for the Eagles. He couldn't gather it in. Wise is in there once more. The other players stayed almost 26 minutes of the first half. Ronnie Bettridge elects to throw the ball up. Big fellas wrestle. Biglands and Arnold gives it wrestle. Comes the way of McClure, and he's forced over the boundary line. He's going to score. He thought about picking him for holding the ball, Ronnie Bettridge.
I thought a free kick should have been played. Play on to call. Biglands. A big start for the Eagles. That's what they needed. 5-4, 34. on the faster scoreboard. Central 7-3-45. We've played 30 seconds of the third quarter, and the Eagles are well and truly in the game.
Well, they've come out firing.
Biaggi rose beautifully. A left foot torpedo punt. Biglands jumped from the back, couldn't take the ball. Kluzak was at the front, and Hopwood, Geister, and also Hicks were there as well. And those three players run the ball over.
Turn his teammates inside out, gets on his left boot, pops it up to the 15-metre arc. Biglands is there, goes with the two hands, can't take it, ball forced to ground. Wise is working hard in close, gets a hand pass across the crowd. Back to McClure, he just waits, has a little bit of time, uses it well and finds Biglands. Very well done there by James McClure, just had a little bit of time, used every second he had to spear the pass into Rhett Biglands.
He has been a dominant player. James McClure has had that many possessions. He just keeps finding that ball and using it effectively. Now that's the difference between just getting it. And Johnny Nankerman's got a quick stat for us.
Yeah, McClure, 8 possessions this quarter, 6 kicks, 2 handballs, 21 for the game so far.
Has been busy. Biglands shot on goal, looks pretty good. He's kicked it from 50, he punched in the air too. He's happy with that. That's his second of the afternoon. The Eagles now hit the front. They move along to 9.
He should have taken, either lost it in the sun or just mistimed it. He butters up though. Opens the door for McClure. McClure with a bit of space. Kicks long. Biglands the target. Jumps high. Almost a Glenburn Fabric magic moment. At ground level though, Geister shows a level.
Scores up 10-4 apiece. We've played almost 23 minutes of this third term.
Well, it'll be Biglands in the ruck now, contesting against Cowan, so a couple of interesting changes. Even ball that one, but Colville at ground level opens up to the player that we spoke of in Hewitt.
He's here just starting to get nice and excited, and the umpires wouldn't want to make too many more wrong calls because they will get lynched at the end of the game. Some fans not happy with a few of the umpiring decisions, but we won't worry about that. Ball back in the middle. Tap comes to Floriani. Wise is in there as well once more on his left.
Lifted the bar, and the pressure is now on the doggies. McGowan threads out a neat little handball to an opponent under pressure, and the ball will be held down, bounce down to take place. Possibly a fight developing as tempers start to get frayed.
Away from him, McClure tries, can't take it, comes towards Colville, punched away from him. McClure tries to crash his way through once more, comes out towards Tyson Hay for the Dogs. He goes forward to centre half forward. The players are working pretty close in tight. Wise has it now. He gets it across to McCarthy. McCarthy backpedaling, gets to the Duke. The Duke of Earl tries to chip a kick and he butters up. Switches play towards Hopwood, who goes to the outer side of the ground, looking for a teammate there in Bevis. Bevis has got a runner in Hereda. Should use that player, and he does. Hereda's at centre wing, takes the mark, and just holds up play a little bit in front of Newitt. Hereda centre wing, outer side of the ground, has Hopwood for a big leap from Crowell. He can't take it, comes towards Colville, punched away from him. McClure tries to crash his way through once more, comes out towards Tyson Hay for the Dogs. He goes forward to centre half forward. The players are working pretty close in tight. Wise has it now. He gets it across to McCarthy. McCarthy backpedaling, gets to the Duke. Towards they trail the Eagles 12-6-78. Just poised this game, George. The crowd's waiting for something to happen. A couple of minor scored. His mum wouldn't cuddle him quite like that down your Wise, and he got 25 metres for it, so pretty poor decision by the umpire for mine. But the ball is now with Nicholas Pesh, who has just got a couple of yards on James Gowns. Pesh has it outside the 50-metre arc. Kicking to the northern end. He's just taking his time, waiting. The umpire's gone for it. The Eagles fans like it to go.
The Archie's taking credit for it too.
Oh, that'll be right. He's jumped be right.
Somersault.
Biaggi jumped up out of the air, got his boot to ball, put it through, and that should just about see the Eagles home. The Eagles now 14.
Oh, they're looking a bit dumbstruck at the moment. It's amazing how this game has just had a turnaround in complexion. We saw Anzac Day, the Eagles took the early initiative and Central's run home, and we've seen a complete turnaround today where Central Districts had the game.
The Eagles, the Dogs I should say, just forced to play around with it there. The Eagles are applying too much pressure. The pressure is intense and they could almost cause a turnover. They don't though, as Kynan Ford boots the ball up towards centre wing. But there's one Bulldogs player up against 4 Eagles player. What can he do?
The Bay's getting in there, and they've got him into a forward attacking area, only about 30 metres out from their goal. Throwing. Windy here, and a little few shouts, but good winter football at Woodville Oval. There's the knockaway. Big Lindsay gets in front. It's Biglands on this attack. Throw-ups around the ground, only bounce in the centre, and throw-ups around the rest of the ground. That's what the rules committee think of doing.
Good move, too.
Oh, there's a comment from Johnny Warren. There's the bounce down. Knock away by Big Ben Thompson. Sure does well to knock it into attack. And that right forward pocket the Bays, the southern end of the Woodville Oval for the throw-in. The Bays in front. 1 goal. The Eagles yet to score 6 minutes into this first quarter in the Woodville Oval. On Coast FM. Biglands. Good start. Strong. Runs through. Couldn't get his pick away. Tried to do so. Goes out towards the line. Thompson there. Also out there bumping to the ball. Look like sure they can't keep him and be a throw-in. Still in that right forward pocket. 30 metres away from the Bay goal. Good start to the game. You want footy to be exciting and close. There's the throw-in. Early in this game, Biglands doing well and rough. Gets it away to Colville. He's tackled under there. There is Jason Earl. Gets across the Pest and started well this game for the Eagles. Pest out to the centre of the ground. Going to the northern end in this first quarter of the Eagles. They get the score. And we've had 9 minutes, nearly 10 minutes in the quarter over to Biglands. Oh, look at that brilliant kick. Piercing kick. Goes by centre-half forward. And that's going to allow the Eagles interest. Not the place for your forwards to be. Picked up by Raiders. He wanted to handle. Then he decides to kick. Goes towards the centre of the ground. Beautiful pass. And the mark there taken by good Benny Thompson. Thompson goes back. Gets onto that left boot. Sizes up his option. This morning. Good footy weather. Big goalie. That's good stuff. Gets through there hard. Gets away to McKenzie. Handball away to the running player. He Bays into attack through Howard. Goes to the centre of the ground. Biglands makes a yard. Can't get on his chest. Right in the centre. They battle.
They come in, Golding comes in with Lindsay. Biglands also there.
That's a good battle there.
Golding has done well. He's broken even at least, I'd say.
Great punch by Biglands. Who's going along centre wing grandstand side for Bay. Going into attack. Only a point in this ball game so far. 16-minute mark. The Eagles lead by a point. It goes off hands. It's an half forward to Bay. Pick up and tackle with good stuff there. As being over there, Jason Oval. Good foot footy. A couple of light showers. But the ground in great condition. The long kick goes to centre wing. Off hands. They battle out there. Trying to get it out. Floriani, good handball. There's that Eagles handball. Away to McCarthy. He kicks it into the centre of the ground. It's not good. On the mark, they're taking the Bay.
Renell with the ball now on the outer side of the ground. They're running. Here's McKenzie again with the ball. Goes towards centre half forward. Up they go. But in front is Big Red Biglands. I'll tell you what, you can't get around that body in a hurry. And Biglands done it, isn't he? Oh, Biglands with the ball. And goes long. Goes towards centre half forward. Who's there? Lindsay's there. Taps it down. No one can take the mark. The scouting plate. And ball out of bounds on the right half forward line for the Bays.
Yes, that's a good movement. The Bays getting in front today. They have to do that. They're up against the top 10 in the competition, doing well early, but it's only into the first quarter by 25 minutes. The score, Eagles 3-2 lead the Bays.
Coming out of the fence now for the Eagles is Andrew Crowell, trying hard to get the ball. Got it out to Floriani. Floriani to Colville, and Colville handball, but it went straight to a Glenelg player. Picked up there. They go into attack Glenelg, and Mark almost pulled down, but here's Mr. Consistency, Johnny
McCarthy's backing up. McCarthy's got it. He goes well across to Holland. He grabs it at half-back for the Eagles. Little short kick. There's the runners now. Pops it up and finds Biglands. Centre wing for the Eagles. He'll go long. You're on Coast FM local footy at the Woodville Oval as the Eagles go to attack the Colville. Always courageous. He tries to get it out of there. Can't do so. There's a big pack of players. You can't beat the Eagles over belting them, can you? You've got to get the ball. Just its body, hard, strong body stuff. There's no good centre around belting people. That'll never work.
That's right. Up they go. Rhett Biglands now in the ruck. Drop the ball down. Here's Colville again for his 150th kick. Goes towards the centre of the ground. By McKenzie butters up. He's got a handball. And he got it across to his teammate there. They go forward the Bays towards half forward.
Terrible.
And a shocking kick. It was a good pass.
How'd you like to play centre half forward to that?
It was a good pass to Biglands anyway. And Biglands now goes to the outer side of the ground, and this is where the Eagles will open it up. Here they go, the runners. And getting a go on now is Holland. Holland goes towards Kluzak. That's match
where you get the free kicks. As Thompson now goes long with that raking left foot into centre half forward. Who's there for the Bays? A big pack of players. Golding to Thompson does brilliantly. Gets it away to the running player Logan. Logan into the open goal. He's kicked it. That's better by them.
Another Eagles player on his own. Ken McGregory's man's coming across now to pick him up. The checking by the Bay players is far too loose. Biglands doing the ruck work, gets it down to Pesh, once again front and centre towards Cook and McClure. McClure tried to tap it to his own. The Woodville up in the stand, but here the sun is out at the Woodville Oval. They throw the ball up in there. Big Winstanley tries to get in. Biglands gets the tap away. It goes wide into the left forward pocket, but it's out of play for a throw-in. 35, I don't think they couldn't, they just looked a lot less in talent than this very good Eagles side. Throw in. Biglands in the ruck now. He's with Winstanley for the Bays. Bigland gets in front, taps the ball down. They try to kick it out of there. Pesh is rode. For Glenelg, the scores Eagles 13-11-89. Glenelg 5 straight goals, 30 behind, or 30 points.
And we're at the 25-minute mark of the third quarter. There's the bounce down. They try to get it out of there. The umpire running in hard. Some heavy.
10-9-69, and your doggies Centrals 7-6-48. And Unley Sturt 7-12-54, leading Norwood 4 goals 4-28, and it's back to the Woodville Oval.
Oh, gee, that could be the upset of the round. Coast FM Kids Radio. See, we've got a lot of kids listening. Yeah, we've got Matthew back in the studio. He's the biggest kid. Eagles 14-13, leading the Bays. 6 goals straight, that is. 30-minute mark of the third quarter on Coast FM local footy. Marr does well for the Bays. From well outside 50, I've seen him in the training drills. And he's got to aim for that right-hand side goalpost, or just outside the goalpost. Oh, didn't even go for it.
Put it at the top of the square.
He did the right thing. Biglands! Yes.
Beautiful pass, John.
Oh, Mac's on the lead. And Biglands put those big hands up, and I've said before, it's a big body to try and get around Biglands. And he has taken the mark about 20 metres out directly in front. They say he weighs 95 kilos. He'd be more than that, wouldn't he? Because I reckon I'm about 90. God, I tell you, his leg would weigh more than that. Yeah, that's right. Great goal. He's whacked it through the ball. Kluzak's got plenty of options now. Goes wide to centre wing to Beveridge. Beveridge goes there. Johnny, you're dead right. Not a soul down in the Bays forward area. Everyone's back up at the other end in the Eagles forward line as the Bays get it. They won't be able to get it out of there. There's players everywhere blocking in there. The handball away by Melody is to no one. And with this squad, you think they'll improve? A couple of... Oh, of course they will. No, I don't think they will. And bounce down in the centre of the ground. The Eagles 16-13, Glenelg 8-2. We're at the 15-minute mark of the final quarter on Coast FM, local footy from the Woodville Oval. Bounce down. If I was the umpire, I would have pinged him in for holding the ball, because he took the ball out the air, he palmed it to himself, he made no attempt to get rid of it, and then he was tackled. Comment from Johnny Warren on Coast FM. He has a lot of comments, doesn't he? There's the ball goes out of play for a throw-in on the outer side of the ground. Coast FM local footy, thanks to the SANFL, have helped us get started, but it's been great doing the local footy this year. There's the knock away, goes to the front of the pack. We're probably watching one of the final kick out. So he decides to go straight across the centre back on his own. McCarthy, one of the better players. He goes long now to the centre of the ground looking for Crowell. Up in front, they can't get it. Comes down to Scher, puts his body over the ball, but barging through there is Beveridge, gets it away. There's Crowell, good handball wide. They've always got runners. Comes away to Biglands. He goes into the half-forward line. Scrappy kick, goes to the back. Picked up and kicked away there by Hanby for the Bays. Comes back to Marr. He's at centre wing, gets it away to Scher.
4-5-29 midway through the fourth quarter to Norwood, and at Richmond, West Adelaide 11-12-78 to South 9-7-61.
Oh, gee, I'll tell you what a game we'll have next week. West Adelaide and the Eagles at Thomas Oval there. He's certainly a good player, Nick Cobb. But I'm very impressed with the Eagles today. I know the opposition's been down a bit. The Bays have tried hard. But for all those other sides out there, I tell you what, I'm impressed with the Eagles. I've seen them a couple of times this year. Their running play is absolutely sensational, and crunched him to the ground. But it's good, tough footy, and the Eagles have got that, and they've also got a good running game. We're on the grandstand side, right in front of our Coast FM commentary position as they get the thump away. Thompson runs through, used the body well. At the 20-minute mark of the final quarter on Coast FM local footy from the Woodville Oval. Good conditions here today. It's been a good game of footy, really. The Bays have tried hard, haven't been good enough. There's the knock away. Comes a handball to Wise. I like his game's over. Mackenzie off for the Bays. So the interchange being done there at the 22-minute mark of the final quarter. What's that from our stats, man? 15 kicks, Mackenzie. No, he hasn't had 15 kicks. There's no way in the world. 16-13, 109 the Eagles to Glenelg, 9-2, 56. So Tony Fazzari, your bet's fairly safe. The ball about to be thrown in, outer side of the ground. There's the throw-in. Ruckman come. Biglands back in the ruck. Palmed it down beautifully to Colville. He gets into trouble. His name written all over that, but unfortunately couldn't quite bring it down. It looks like he had it, didn't he? He did. Anyway, the umpire... He's a big man, isn't he? Oh, he's a huge man. The umpire, Leviathan. The umpire comes in, fisted down to Biglands. He has a shot over the shoulder, misses. 1 point is the result. 16-14 or 1-10. To the Eagles. The